Welcome to California Edition. I'm Brad Pomerance. Bill Bogaard is joining us today. Say it isn't so, Mr. Bogaard. You have announced that you are not running for re-election as mayor of the great city of Pasadena. Why, oh why?
Brad, I've decided I need to maybe try some other activities.
I understand.
And I've been in office as Pasadena's first directly elected mayor for 16 years. It's been a wonderful run. It was a close decision for me. I almost went the other way.
You did. And I know that part of the pull is, of course, your family, which lives internationally.
That's true.
Tell us about that.
I have two daughters who reside in Spain. And with them are three grandchildren.
Right.
And I definitely intend to spend some time over there. I would, even if they weren't in Spain.
Of course. And then do you have another grandchild in, is it Washington State? Is that
right?
Well,
I do. I have two grandchildren in Washington State and two in Altadena nearby.
So at least two are nearby, so
Yeah.
that's not too far. I want to talk to you, sir, about your election the first time around. Like you said, in around the late 90s, Pasadena opted to directly elect its mayor. It had been like other small to mid-sized cities that the mayor was rotating.
Exactly.
Take us back to that time. How did that come to be?
There was a feeling on the part of the business community in the 90s that there was no one on the council who had a political responsibility to worry about the community as a whole.
At that time, and still, members of the council were elected by district?
Exactly.
Not citywide?
Each member of the council is elected by 1/7 of the city.
Got it.
And with that concern being expressed, a charter review task force of citizens of Pasadena formulated this position of directly elected mayor with a 4-year term. When that was approved by the voters, my friends came to me and said, throw your hat in the ring, let's try this out.
And you had been on the city council in a prior decade, is that right?
I had. I served for 8 years on the Pasadena City Council, ending in 1986.
Okay.
And I had served as mayor under the old format from 85, or during 85 and 86. But
now, why'd you step off the council, or did you step off, or did you lose re-election?
No, I decided not to run for re-election because I was working as a lawyer, and I had 4 children at home, and 8 years was seemed like the right number then.
So why'd you decide to run in 1999?
Well, it came at the right time from a professional point of view because I had flexibility. I had the freedom not to pursue regular full-time professional employment. And my friend said, just do it for one term. Just do it for one term.
Right. Famous last words.
Famous last words. And so I did throw my hat in the ring, had a spirited campaign.
And it's interesting, your opponent in the runoff was Chris Holden. And I know that you went on to have a wonderful, I guess you could say, partnership, collaboration when he was on the council.
That's true.
And he is now in the California Assembly.
That's right. He served on the council for 14 years while I was there. Longer than that total, but while I was there, we were political allies. There's no question about it.
And I think part of the sadness about your departure is typified in what you just described. Here is, your opponent in an election. You both clearly want to be mayor. You win, and yet you have a famous relationship. I don't mean to be a sycophant, but you're seen as a gentleman. You're seen as a collaborator, and there's some concern about what happens next. I mean, you're like the mayor's mayor. I think of you. I think of Ron Loveridge from Riverside, who stepped down recently. I mean, is it a passing fad? These kind of gentlemen and women who serve their communities?
I hasten to say that my colleagues on the council are dedicated people, hardworking, measured in their approach. And if one of them survives as the mayor of Pasadena to succeed me, I'm confident that the traditions of recent years will continue.
And there are a few of them that are considering a run. We don't know who ultimately will throw their hat in the ring, but I think it may be likely that one of them could ascend.
Yes.
Let's talk about the past 16 years and of what you are most proud. We talked a little bit before, and I'm going to divide it up maybe into 2 categories. First, let's talk about making Pasadena that livable city that it's known for. And you put a lot of emphasis into arts and culture. Tell me about the concert series that you helped to bring to Pasadena.
Well, you're asking, Brad, about the Levitt Pavilion Pasadena program. It takes place in Memorial Park in the Pasadena Bandshell, now the Levitt Bandshell.
Right.
And it offers 50 free concerts with a wide variety of musical format, musical agenda, all summer long. People come and have a wonderful picnic. They sit on the lawn and enjoy that. And at this point, after 10 years, 11 years of operation, the Levitt is attracting anywhere from 500 to 1,500 persons a concert.
It's remarkable. And it plays right into this whole notion of Pasadena as that livable city. What about, isn't there a theater company that also moved in under your tutelage?
There is. 10 years ago, A Noise Within was seeking a permanent home after being in rented facilities in Glendale for a number of years. And it was possible through the cooperation of a land developer and the city's power of zoning for the three of us, the city, A Noise Within, and the developer, to reach an understanding that allowed A Noise Within to acquire the property they needed. And now they're well ensconced and adding tremendously to the standing of Pasadena as a cultural center.
I also think about Pasadena as a city with fine educational institutions, from Pasadena City College, which is considered one of the strongest community colleges in the system, to Caltech. And I think about the innovation that Pasadena boasts. And one of the programs I believe you spearheaded was a program called Innovate Pasadena.
I'm proud of that because that is a community-based effort in which the city is a partner but not a promoter. And we see that as an opportunity for Pasadena to showcase its strengths in science and technology and engineering, and its showplace as an entrepreneur city and a startup town. We want the world to know that Pasadena is a good place to open a business and to lead a life, so that will contribute to the strength of the city going forward.
And I wonder how Caltech plays a role in that. You know, my daughters are not quite at college age. You know, my eldest is 12, but I'm kind of looking at, you know, college in the future, and I look at these lists, and Caltech is considered one of the best universities in the world.
It is.
Not in the country, in the world. I mean, how does that impact Pasadena?
Well, Caltech is a mainstay of our Innovate Pasadena strategy, and in so many other things, because they're world famous.
Right.
And their managed operation from NASA called Jet Propulsion Laboratory is, of course, world famous. And that sets a tone for the city, both in terms of our intellectual capacity and in terms of our business stability, because institutions like that bring in a lot of visitors. So our hotel rates have high occupancy. And it contributes in so many ways.
What about the biolab incubator? I presume that's part of that whole, you know, troika.
It's an opportunity that the city has supported, that has been taken forward by institutions like Pasadena City College and California State University, Los Angeles. Some entrepreneurs who reside and work in Pasadena. This is the Pasadena Bioscience Collaborative, which is an incubation operation for high-tech companies and also a workforce development opportunity. PCC has played a big role in that.
I must ask you, what's next for Bill Bogaard? Hopefully a vacation.
Vacation, and that's as far as I've gotten. After 16 years, I've promised myself just to disappear for a while after I finish.
And there is nothing wrong with that. It's been a wonderful 16 years. Fortunately, they're not over that soon. You still have a few more months on the job. We have been speaking with Bill Bogaard. He is the mayor of the beautiful city of Pasadena. My name is Brad Pomerance, and this is California Edition.